Macmillan Audio presents All These Things I've Done by Gabrielle Zevin. Read for you by Ilyana Kadushin. Whether I shall turn out to be the hero of my own life, or whether that station will be held by anybody else, these pages must show. Charles Dickens, David Copperfield. Chapter 1. I Defend My Own Honor. The night before junior year, I was 16, barely. Gable Arsley said he wanted to sleep with me. Not in the distant or semi-distant future either, right then. Admittedly, my taste in boys wasn't so great. I was attracted to the sort who weren't in the habit of asking permission to do anything. Boys like my father, I guess. We'd just gotten back from the coffee speakeasy that used to be off University Place in the basement of a church. This was back when caffeine, along with about 1 million other things, was against the law. So much was illegal. Paper without a permit, phones with cameras, chocolate, etc. And the laws changed so quickly, you could be committing a crime and not even know it. Not that it mattered. The boys in blue were totally overwhelmed. The city was bankrupt, and I'd say maybe 75% of the force had been fired. The police that were left didn't have time to worry about teens getting high on coffee. I should have known something was up when Gable offered to escort me back to the apartment. At night, at least, it was a pretty dangerous trek from the speakeasy to where I lived on East 90th, and Gable usually left me to fend for myself. He lived downtown, and I guess he figured that I hadn't been killed making the trip yet. We went into my apartment, which had been in the family practically forever, since 1995, the year my grandma Galina was born. Galina, who he called Nana, and who I loved like nobody's business, was busy dying in her bedroom. She had the distinction of being both the oldest and the sickest person I had ever known. As soon as I opened the door, I could hear the machines that were keeping her heart and everything else pumping. The only reason they hadn't turned the machines off, like they would have for anyone else, was because she was responsible for my older brother, my little sister, and me. Her mind was still sharp, by the way. Even confined to the bed, not much got past her. Gable had had maybe 6 espressos that night, 2 of them with shots of Prozac, also illegal, and he was mad up. I'm not making excuses for him, only trying to explain a few things. "Annie," he said, loosening his necktie and sitting down on the couch. "You gots to have some chocolate in here. I know you do. I'm gagging for it. Come on, baby, hook Daddy up." It was the caffeine talking. Gable sounded like a different person when he was on the stuff. I especially hated when he referred to himself as Daddy. I think he'd heard it in an old movie. I wanted to say, "You aren't my daddy. You're 17 years old, for God's sake." Sometimes I did say this, but mostly I let it go. My actual daddy used to say that if you didn't let some things go, you'd spend your whole life fighting. Chocolate was why Gable said he'd wanted to come up to the apartment in the first place. I told him he could have 1 piece, and then he had to leave. The first day of school was tomorrow, my junior year, as I mentioned, his senior, and he needed to get some sleep. We kept our chocolate in Nana's room in a secret safe in the back of her closet. I tried to be real quiet as I walked past her bed. Not that there was much of a need for that. Her machines were as loud as the subway. Nana's room smelled like death. A combination of day-old egg salad, poultry was rationed, and overripe honeydew melons.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?